We're back now with your questions for Republican presidential candidate and former New Mexico Governor Gary Johnson. Yes.
Candidate Johnson, as a supporter of Ron Paul, why do you think, as a libertarian, and I think a lot of us are, why do you think we should switch over to supporting your campaign versus Ron Paul's?
You know, I wouldn't pretend to make that argument to you. That is something that you're going to have to make a choice on, and I'm not the guy to answer that question. I'm not avoiding the question. I just really, that's your choice.
Okay, and
I think my question might be similar, but Congressman Paul over the years has consistently embodied Republican principles. How do you respond to those people who ask you what your candidacy can add?
Well, the notion of actually winning. I mean, that's the idea here. Now, that may turn out to be far-fetched, but look, Dr. Paul got 8% during the last cycle. It was a great statement. He's a terrific spokesperson. But that 8% has to grow to 40% plus if this is going to be successful and actually govern. So that might not end up to be the case, but that's the stab here on my part.
yes, sir.
Hello, Governor. Being a high school student from New York, I see that in our history classes and our economics classes, we're oftentimes taught Keynesian School of Economics. I know you're in favor of the Chicago School and the Austrian School of Economics. What would you do to defeat the Keynesian brand?
You're a high school student?
Yeah. And my friends right here.
Then explain Keynesianism.
Basically, it's more spending, more regulation, rather than our approach of economic freedom.
Wow, I wish I'd gone to his high school, but...
So I think when people hear the story about the Panama Canal being dug, and I believe that this may have been Hayek that went to see the Panama Canal being dug, and he said, well, why are they digging with shovels and not using heavy equipment? This is about jobs. And his response was, well, then have them dig with spoons. That's Keynesian economics.
I heard the same story with Milton Friedman in China, but maybe it's apocryphal, maybe it's not, but it's an important message in that. Yes?
Do we benefit from a tornado moving through town and breaking every single window in town? No, I don't think we do.
Yes.
And from another high school student, how would you react to state nullification challenges to improper federal laws? And do you think that that's a constitutionally viable remedy for federal overreach?
Well, that I would be a champion for states' rights, and that the whole nullification movement, I'm excited by it. I'm excited by the notion that states are standing up to the federal government, and as President of the United States, you would see a shift in how this country's business gets conducted from the federal government to the states.
And finally, from Facebook, again, Wesley Kretschmer asks, would you give a presidential pardon to all nonviolent drug offenders?
Yes, I think that needs to be part of this process.
All right, well, thank you, Governor Johnson. I have to ask you to leave now because when we come back, I'm going to tell you what I really think of him. And that's next.